Section 61. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Then, okay. Su Yang hesitated, then I'll cooperate with you. Zhang Wanxian took Su Yang's hand. Brother, we are in trouble. Looking at this, Su Yang knew that this 10,000 yuan was bullied miserably by Uncle Li, a thug. Maybe he was bullied since childhood. Ma Ran, who had just arrived at Su Yang's side, was completely confused. The rent was cut off by 8,000 renminbi by his boss. Why did the landlord still want to thank his boss? That's 8,000, nearly 100,000 a year. Did you take the wrong medicine? Then we sign a contract. Zhang Wanxian, the contract is in the car. Opening the rolling shutter door, Zhang Wanxian took Su Yang and Ma ran out and met Uncle Li. Zhang Wanxian glanced at Su Yang, and when Su Yang nodded in encouragement, he said proudly. Li Guohong, my shop has been rented out, and the monthly rent is 30,000. Young man, you are confused. Uncle Li was so angry that he beat his chest. Ha ha ha. Zhang Wanxian laughed wildly and quickly took Su Yang and the two of them to his Mercedes-Benz. The three of them got into the Mercedes-Benz, and Zhang Wanxian handed the contract to Su Yang. Su Yang took a closer look at the contract. It was a standard contract and there was nothing wrong with it. Brother, please raise the liquidated damages. Okay. Zhang Wanxian knew what Su Yang was worried about. He glanced at Li Guohong who was about to walk over and said, there is a printing shop in the next street, let's go there. Okay. With the cold wind blowing, Zhang Wanxian gradually woke up. He felt as if he had been deceived by Su Yang, but remembering how Li Guohong was so angry with him that he beat his chest and stamped his feet, he felt very happy again. But what Su Yang said is right. Ordinary people would definitely not dare to rent his shop if they met an old bastard like Li Guohong. The catering industry has indeed been sluggish recently, and many shops have begun to become vacant. Several of his friends who make a living by collecting rent are also complaining that their shops are not being rented. Once your store is vacant, it is really no different from losing money. It's better to rent it to Su Yang, and if he regrets it now, wouldn't Li Guohong laugh his head off? On the contrary, he still needs Su Yang to cooperate with him in hitting Li Guohong in the face. Ma Ran already regretted getting into this car. He glanced at the rearview mirror, Zhang Wanxian's eyes, and tried not to laugh. It's really fun for my boss to sing a double act with that old man. He glanced at his boss again. He couldn't help but admire his boss's calm expression. So he quickly opened the window to calm down. After the contract penalty was revised, Su Yang and Zhang Wanxian happily signed the contract. After the first year of the lease expires, Su Yang still has priority to rent the store. Su Yang also transferred 88,000 yuan to Zhang Wan on the spot, bet 3 and pay 1. After receiving the money, Zhang Wanxian also sent Su Yang outside his shop. If Su Yang hadn't refused, Zhang Wanxian would have wanted to take him to tea. On the way, Zhang Wanxian also gave him instructions. Ask him to cooperate with you, don't reveal the real rent. Su Yang naturally nodded repeatedly and agreed. Zhang Wanxian is also more relieved about Su Yang. After all, he is the landlord. Zhang Wanxian parked the car arrogantly in front of the convenience store, and Su Yang and Ma Ran Gang got out of the car. While waving the contract, he shouted to Li Guohong in the store. Who said my shop can't be rented out? I've already signed a contract for a monthly rent of 30,000 yuan. XX old thing. After saying that, he looked at Su Yang again. Su Yang gave him a reassuring look again, indicating that he was very reliable. Seeing Li Guohong rushing out with a feather duster, Zhang Wanxian gave him a middle finger, then stepped on the accelerator and walked away proudly. The angry Uncle Li rushed to the roadside, jumped twice on the spot, turned around and quickly changed his face, showing a sly smile. Young man, you must have got the price, right? Just from Su Yang's quick reaction just now, Li Guohong knew that he was a shrewd person. Don't miss this opportunity. It's hard to tell. Su Yang pursed his lips and said with some embarrassment, I have an agreement with them. Just ask for 30,000 yuan. 27,000. Uncle Li stared at Su Yang's eyes, trying to see something in his eyes. 26,000. He still couldn't see anything from Su Yang's face. It shouldn't be 25,000, right? Uncle Li asked doubtfully, are you so powerful? Su Yang still said nothing and still had the same expression. Young man, tell me. I won't leak it, you have to believe in my character. I swear to God, Li Guohong scratched his head anxiously, if you didn't tell me, I probably wouldn't be able to sleep in the past few days. Su Yang was confused, I am an ethical person and I must abide by my agreement. Chapter 47 Short Video Account Operation Talents. Luoyin.at This time, Li Guohong's wife also smiled and said, Old man, please don't embarrass this young man. Zhang Wanhao is also my landlord after all. Li Guohong scratched his gray hair, but I just want to know. I feel like a cat scratching my head. Let's do this. Su Yang said, to thank you, I will take care of your business. Ma Ran, come here to move the goods. Okay, boss. Li Guohong's wife smiled and said, no need to be so polite. The Zhang family and our family have been mortal enemies for a long time. We like to see the Zhang family suffer. We have to buy it anyway. Seeing Su Yang's insistence, Li Guohong's wife had no choice. She picked and chose and took a few more packs of mid and high-end cigarettes. Su Yang calculated the amount and took a few more bottles of chewing gum and a bag of spicy strips. After paying more than 4,000 yuan, Su Yang thanked Uncle Li again. Young man, just tell me. Uncle Li came to the car window and whispered, I really won't tell anyone. I'm more likely to keep my promise. Su Yang thought for a while, and handed the spicy strips in his hand to Uncle Li. Uncle, this is for you, I don't like spicy strips. Watching Su Yang leave, Uncle Li couldn't help but said angrily. If I had known that this young man was so heartless, I shouldn't have helped him. Li Guohong's wife smiled and said, it's not that he doesn't appreciate it. He has spent at least 8,000 here. Humph. Li Guohong was still a little unhappy, he just wanted to know how much rent Su Yang cut from Zhang Wanxian. Section 62. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After coming back to his senses, he looked at the bag of spicy strips in his hand and said dissatisfiedly, only children like to eat spicy strips, I am not a child. Li Guohong's wife said with a doting face, I think you are an old child. Humph. Li Guohong snorted coldly, sat down on the chair, and looked at the spicy strips in his hand with a bad taste in his heart. He threw the spicy strips on the glass cabinet and his mind was full of questions about how much Su Yang had bargained for. 2,000. 3,000. It can't be 5,000, right? At this moment, he suddenly sat up from his chair. You just said, how much did the young man spend here? Almost 8,000, Li Guohong said anxiously. Calculate again, be more accurate. Li Guohong's wife didn't know what her old man was crazy about, so she used a calculator to calculate it. No more, no less, just 8,000. Thinking of the very deliberately spicy strips, Li Guohong suddenly realized and couldn't help blurting out, wow, 22,000, just cut 8,000. How did he do it? Sitting in the car, Su Yang quickly noticed that there was a new skill on his system panel entry-level acting. He should be considered self-taught. Looking up, he saw Ma Ran laughing. What are you laughing at? Boss, I always feel that Zhang Wanxian is a little naive. Not bad. Su Yang didn't think Zhang Wanxian was that naive. If it weren't for Uncle Li's constant pressure, Zhang Wanxian would not rent the store to him at a low price. I can only say that Uncle Li is very capable, and he can cooperate just right. Besides, is Zhang Wanxian really scheming and capable? That is definitely impossible. If that were the case, he would not have driven away the original owner, ruined his own skewer's shop, and lost 700,000 yuan. He is just an ordinary bad guy who likes to be a little clever. Boss, you really don't tell Uncle Li how much you bargained for? Ma Ran asked with a smile, I think Uncle Li will not sleep well tonight. I gave him a hint. After waiting for half a minute, Ma Ran reacted, did he spend 8,000 there? Yeah. Ma Ran poured it out, and he was not surprised. You might as well just say it. If he really wants to know, he will definitely find clues. I have already given him hints very deliberately. Su Yang said helplessly, after all, I have already made an agreement with Zhang Wanxian. Is the boss afraid that Zhang Wanxian will break the contract? Su Yang shook his head. No, if he breaks the contract, I will only make more money faster. Ma Ran was surprised, just want to abide by the agreement. Yeah. But I didn't expect that the boss would care about that little rent. Ma Ran slowly organized his words. I thought rich people like the boss would be more generous. At least 10 in a year, 10,000 yuan. Instead of giving it to someone like Zhang Wanhao, it is better to give benefits to employees. Su Yang changed the subject. By the way, how is your work? Still interviewing, thinking of the new car he was about to get, Su Yang asked. Are you interested in being my full-time driver? I can give you a monthly salary of 10,000 yuan. Boss, I still want to find a job. Ma Ran said with some melancholy, I have been studying hard since I was a child, and I have worked hard after entering university. After graduation, I have been working in the game industry. I think I am capable and hard-working enough. If I were to drive. Alas, hearing this, Su Yang didn't want to raise the price. He could understand Ma Ran's unwillingness. If it were possible, who would be willing to deny their past efforts? Then let's get started first. Su Yang leaned back in his chair. I will give you a monthly salary of 10,000 yuan, and you can leave at any time when you find a job. Ma Ran has been driving for him for almost a month. The salary of 300 yuan a day is still paid out of Su Yang's pocket. Just thinking about it makes him feel at a loss, and he must get started. Thank you, boss. Ma Ran felt his nose was a little sour, and his eyes seemed to be filled with sand. For a moment, he wanted to drive Su Yang for the rest of his life. Just then, Su Yang's phone rang. It was Su Zhiping who called. After the call, Su Yang asked Ma Ran to go to Xingho Qinglong District Store. The Xingho Fitness short video operation talent he had always wanted was here. When he came to Su Zhiping's office, he saw a woman who was 1.75 meters tall and had a curvy figure. The woman, who wore black-framed glasses, looked like a queen, and had beautiful muscles. The muscles on her body were very natural, and she must have been trained very hard. Su Yang could feel the powerful force contained in them. And when Luo Han saw Su Yang, her eyes lit up. She didn't expect Su Yang to be as handsome as the rumors said. Su Zhiping introduced, Luo Han, this is Su Yang, the boss of our Xingho Fitness. Boss, this is Luo Han, who likes fitness and is also a fitness blogger. She has accounts on Bilibili, Douyin, Xiaobeixiu, and Weibo, and has more than 1 million fans on the entire network. In fact, each platform has only 200,000 to 300,000 fans. Luo Han smiled and took the initiative to extend her hand to Su Yang and said, as for President Su, I have heard of your name for a long time. Am I that famous? Su Yang gently held Luo Han's hand and then separated. Of course, he would not underestimate Luo Han's personal ability. Su Zhiping told Su Yang the information about Luo Han the day before yesterday. He watched the other party's video carefully. Apart from her slight advantage in appearance, the most powerful thing about her was the strong core strength she had gained through long-term training. Her powerful core strength is enough to allow her to perform all kinds of incredible moves. This is quite hardcore. Moreover, her figure is not the kind of devilish muscular figure that looks very scary and disgusting to ordinary people. She just looks stronger than ordinary women. It is very difficult for a person to make videos by himself, without selling meat or side effects, and purely making fitness videos, to have 20,000 to 300,000 fans on each platform. Some beautiful girls, even if they wear tight-fitting yoga pants every day, squeeze their private parts until they are deformed, and do all kinds of actions that make men fantasize, they still don't have as many fans as this one. Generally speaking, Luo Han's personal video style is very suitable for Xingho Fitness. Of course Mr. Su is very famous, especially in our Rongqing fitness circle. Luo Han said with a smile, many people in Chenghua district are asking when Mr. Su will open the gym there. It was precisely because of Xingho's good reputation that gradually spread in the fitness circle that Luo Han readily accepted Xingho's invitation. Of course, the treatment given by Xingho also made her quite satisfied. She can operate her own and Spark Fitness accounts at the same time in the future. Not only can you make extra money, but you can also get a relatively stable salary at Spark, Chapter 48 from Yuan Cece to Tao Shui. The forgotten Lu Yiping. All I can say is ASAP. Su Yang couldn't guarantee this. Large commercial gyms are very selective about their location and often require an investment of several million. It also takes more than half a year to decorate and purchase equipment, which is very time-consuming and labor-intensive. In the short term, Spark Fitness's main goal is to turn losses into profits. Section 63. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Next, Luo Yihan and Ma Ran went through the entry procedures and officially joined Xingho. The Xingho Fitness account was also transferred from the front desk to Luo Yihan. In the future, the official short video account of Xingho Fitness will be mainly managed by Luo Yihan. Fang Tong was naturally very happy to be able to transfer the account work. The salary increased, the benefits increased, and the boss asked people to share their work. It would be strange if she was not happy. Ding Xingho Fitness employees Zhou Xiaolu and Lu Wanwan's loyalty increased to 90, and you received a reward of 80,000 yuan. This surprised Su Yang a little, but he figured it out soon. Fang Tong is indeed responsible for the Xingho Fitness account, but the other two front desk employees also need to assist Fang Tong in filming. Recently, Su Yang has attached great importance to the operation of online accounts, and their workload has also increased. This time Fang Tong handed over the account, which is also to reduce their burden. Zhou Xiaolu asked in a low voice, Fang Tong, has the account really been handed over? Yes. Fang Tong nodded repeatedly. Great. Yes. Lu Wanwan smiled and said, the boss is so nice. Zhou Xiaolu, yeah. Speaking of it, it was a bit unlucky that the Xingho Fitness account fell into the hands of Fang Tong and Zhou Xiaolu. At that time, Su Jiping asked other fitness coaches, and they all said that they could not shoot short videos. Only Fang Tong had just entered the society and was the youngest. She was also new to the job and was the most active in doing things. After hearing Su Jiping's question, she said that she could shoot short videos. Occasionally, she would shoot a few and send them to Douyin. As a result, Su Jiping handed the account to Fang Tong and Zhou Xiaolu. Every time she went home at night and edited videos on the computer until her eyes were blurred, Fang Tong especially wanted to slap herself twice. I told you to talk too much. I told you to show off. This is retribution. As for whether there is extra salary for operating the account of your own gym, that's too much to think about. Small companies and small shops should not have too many employees who have multiple jobs. After signing the contract, Luo Yihan asked with a smile. Boss, can I take photos of all the fitness coaches in the gym? Su Yang replied, don't worry, I will let them fully cooperate with you without affecting their main job. I just saw a very beautiful female coach in the gym, especially those long legs. Luo Yihan seemed to be excited when she said this, but I have never seen her on your official account. That should be Yuan Cece, the signboard of our gym. Su Yang said with a smile, if you need it, I will help you convince her, it should be no problem. That's good. With Su Yang's promise, Luo Yihan has more confidence in his work. After all, in addition to the basic salary, there are also performance indicators for operating accounts for Xingho. After chatting with Luo Yihan for a few words and encouraging her, Su Yang took Ma Ran to leave. He has seen Ma Ran's loyalty, which has reached 87, which is still quite good. Lu Wanwan at the front desk reminded, the boss is here. Hello, boss. X3. The three front desk ladies greeted with a smile. Yeah. Su Yang nodded to them, and when he was about to leave the gym, he suddenly remembered something. After standing at the door and thinking for a while, he returned to the front desk and said to Fang Tong, help me check the information of a member named LV Yiping, double-mouthed LV, righteousness, and ordinary. Okay, boss. LV Yiping was the member who molested Yuan Cece during Su Yang's commercial deduction of Xingho Fitness, causing Yuan Cece to resign. Because LV Yiping never appeared in the subsequent deduction, he was gradually forgotten by Su Yang, but when Luo Yihan mentioned Yuan Cece just now, he thought of this person again. Since he can molest Yuan Cece, he can't molest other female fitness coaches. After all, when taking private lessons, most of the parties are in a closed area. This person is a disaster after all. As he applied business deduction, he gradually found that ordinary employees were almost impossible to appear in business deduction unless they would have a greater impact on the business. For example, Yuan Cece, she is the backbone of Xingho Fitness Qinglong District Store. Her departure will affect Xingho's business. For example, Jian Wei, who appeared in the fragrant hot pot restaurant, has the ability to improve the hot pot restaurant business. In other words, if LV Yipping molested other ordinary female fitness coaches, maybe business deduction would not prompt. Of course, this is just Su Yang's guess, but since he thought of it, he had to be on guard. Su Yang asked in confusion, is there such a person? I found out, there is. Fong Tong said quickly, he registered as a member last month and applied for a monthly card. Did he buy private lessons? Yes, I bought 5. Su Yang frowned and said, Yuan Cece's. Not Sister Cece's, but Tao Shue's. Have you started the class? I've already started one class. Su Yang narrowed his eyes. In his mind, he thought of Tao Shui, who was young, beautiful, smart, and had a pair of beautiful deer eyes, good guy. In the deduction, it was Yuan Cece, and in reality it was Tao Shui, and the ones he targeted were all the beauties from Xingho Fitness. Should he praise his unique vision? Seeing that it was Tao Shui, Su Yang became even more worried. Some women may choose to swallow their anger when they encounter such things. Tao Shui's temperament seems to be weaker than Yuan Cece. Ma Ran, wait here, I have something to deal with. Okay, boss. Fong Tong, is Tao Shui working today? Yes, I saw her this morning. Notify her and ask her to go to the store manager's office. I have something to ask her. Okay. Su Yang first came to Su Jiping's office and directly said that he wanted to kick LV Yipping out of Xingho Fitness. The membership fee and private training fee can be fully refunded. Boss, is there any problem with this LV Yipping? I heard that he has a history of molesting women. I'm afraid Tao Shui will suffer from him. Su Yang naturally just found a reasonable reason. That LV Yipping didn't make a clear mistake, so it's not easy for us to cancel his membership. If the other party is unreasonable, it may cause some trouble, which is not good for the reputation of our gym. Su Jiping didn't doubt Su Yang's reason at all. Section 64. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It is very easy for your own boss to investigate a person. Back then, my boss figured out Su Tianqi's character and temper in 2 days, and planned every step of Su Tianqi's life. It is absolutely impossible to say that there was no targeted investigation into Su Tianqi. But he also voiced his concerns. At this time, Tao Shui also came. Hello boss, hello store manager. Tao Shui greeted politely. Tao Shui, come in and sit down. Su Yang pointed to the sofa next to him. Okay. Tao Shui sat down politely. Su Yang asked directly, LV Yipping, do you know? I know, my student. Tao Shui started to feel a little nervous. Have you been complained about? Did he touch you when you gave him private lessons? Not a complaint. Tao Shui breathed a sigh of relief immediately, but she soon understood what Su Yang meant. She shook her head honestly. No. Su Yang asked softly, really? If there is, just say it and I will make the decision for you. No. That's good. After confirming that Tao Shui was not lying, Su Yang felt relieved. But he does have some. Seeing that Tao Shui hesitated to speak, Su Yang asked, what's there? Sometimes he stares directly at my sensitive parts, which is much more excessive than other students, but I can't say. Ordinary men will indeed look at her a few times when they meet a woman with a good figure. Even Su Yang is no exception, especially a female fitness coach like Tao Shui who will fully show off her good figure, but if you look at it directly, it's a bit offensive. Chapter 49. Does the boss care about me? Why did the boss just leave? Su Yang pondered for a while and then looked at Su Jiping. If you don't cancel his membership, we will transfer Tao Shui's courses to a male coach on the grounds that Tao Shui's course schedule is too full, and we will compensate him for all the tuition fees for private lessons. Mark him on the blacklist and not renew his membership after it expires. What do you think? Su Yang usually doesn't get involved in the specific affairs of the gym. He is more willing to believe in the abilities of several store managers. Moreover, if you often take away the specific affairs of each store, it will dampen the store manager's enthusiasm for work. If he is too arbitrary and turns his employees into yes-men who have no independent opinions and have to ask for instructions on everything, then he is waiting to die from overwork. He is busy enough as it is. Unexpectedly, before Su Yang could wait for Su Jiping to object, Tao Shui actually stood up and objected first. "Boss, this is not good. What's wrong? After all, they are buying my class, so I'll just tolerate it and get over it." After all, it was a share of several $100s, and Tao Shui really couldn't part with it. She had just arrived at Starfire and the business had just begun. She wants to make her performance look better. At least you have to look worthy of such a high salary, and in this line of work, you have to endure some offensive looks and malicious speculations. She had encountered similar customers at the gym before. The manager of the gym asked her to bear with it. Don't offend customers. Don't even get into conflicts with customers. Tao Shui, the boss is doing this for your own good. Before Su Yang could respond, Su Jiping stood up and said, "The boss found out that Lu Yiping had a history of molesting women. The boss was worried that you would suffer a loss, so he wanted to give away your private information. Teaching is handed over." "When did I find out that Lu Yiping had a history of molesting women?" Su Yang was a little confused. How did Su Jiping figure it out? Tao Shui was surprised. "Really?" Hearing what Su Jiping said, Tao Shui became afraid. Thinking of Lu Yiping's greasy and bald appearance, she felt disgusted and scared. Su Yang waved his hand. "I heard that." Tao Shui's beautiful eyes were covered with a hazy mist. "Heard?" She doesn't believe it. Lu Yiping is just an ordinary member and doesn't seem to have much money. There is no need for a big shot like the boss to pay attention. She was more willing to believe what store manager Su said. Su Yang had investigated Lu Yiping. Does he care about me? Suddenly, her little heart beat hard. When she first joined the company, she did have thoughts about Su Yang and tried to get close to him, but Su Yang is busy with business, and he occasionally goes to the gym every day to train hard. In public, she couldn't find a suitable reason to approach Su Yang. Slowly, she almost wanted to give up. After all, Su Yang didn't take the initiative to approach her, which proved that Su Yang was not interested in her. But now, he seems to care about me. Thinking of Lu Yiping, who had a criminal record, he looked at the young and handsome boss with a net worth of hundreds of millions and a strong body sitting on the sofa not far away. Tao Shui had a strong urge to lean into his arms. Su Yang sitting there gave her a strong sense of security. "Tao Shui, this time I have forcibly interrupted your business. The gym will replenish your share of Lu Yiping's 5 private lessons and count it as your performance." Su Yang turned to Su Jiping and said, "If Lu Yiping is willing, if you continue to take private lessons from male fitness trainers, the male fitness trainer who takes over will also receive a share of the profits, so you can't lose out to them." "Okay, boss." Su Jiping thought for a moment and said, "I will also ask the front desk to pay attention to Lu Yiping, and I will also let people keep the surveillance video of Lu Yiping taking private lessons." Su Jiping had no objection to Su Yang's handling of the situation this time. Even if LV Yiping was being unreasonable, their gym would not be wrong. Of course, he didn't know that Su Yang had already deduced it. LV Yiping would indeed not affect the operation of the gym again. Think about it, what kind of ability can a person who can molest a girl have? If he really has power, ability, and money, he can go to a karaoke bar, salsa dance, or a bar, anywhere. Very good. Su Yang nodded with satisfaction. If he dares to do it in public, send him to the police station. He is not a policeman, and it is even more impossible for him to convict LV Yiping of something that will happen in the future. What he has to do is to protect the employees and customers in the gym. I understand, boss. Section 65. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Su Yang thought for a moment and said earnestly. Manager Su, sometimes if our employees are right, we have to stand on the side of our employees, understand? Understand. Su Jiping thought Su Yang was talking about Tao Shui, but he would remember the boss's teachings. We at Xingho Fitness don't lack 1 or 2 customers, and my employees don't need to serve such scumbags, and I don't want to make money from such people. Yeah, Su Jiping nodded seriously. Su Yang glanced at Tao Shui again and said, we are in the formal service industry, not begging. Don't wrong yourself, understand? I understand, boss. Tao Shui lowered her head and rubbed her eyes, and the back of her hand was wet. She had to admit that Su Yang was very handsome at this time. Okay. Su Yang got up and left. I won't disturb your normal work. Tao Shui raised her head and saw Su Yang's chic and blurry back disappear at the door. She felt that she would never forget Su Yang's back in her life. But she quickly reacted, The boss just left like that? Back in the spacious rental house, Su Yang collapsed on the sofa and watched videos. Not long after, he noticed that Guofeng sent him several videos. It turned out that Chen Xiaoxiao had made a promotional video for Zhoushan Beef Hot Pot. Guofeng had already reviewed it, but Su Yang still needed to review it, because it needed to be published on several different platforms. The videos were also divided into different versions. Su Yang watched them one by one and was quite satisfied with the quality of the videos. At this time, Su Yang also noticed that Chen Xiaoxiao also sent him a WeChat message. After adding friends, this was the first time Chen Xiaoxiao sent him a message. As for Su Yang, he naturally would not take the initiative to contact her. Chen Xiaoxiao, boss, are you satisfied with the video? Do you need to modify it? Su Yang, satisfied, no need to modify it, I will tell manager Guo. Chen Xiaoxiao sent a cute expression, thank you, boss JPG. Su Yang, happy cooperation. Chen Xiaoxiao, happy cooperation. She likes this kind of straightforward boss. Then Chen Xiaoxiao flipped through Su Yang's circle of friends. Moments are visible for only 1 year, but I can't see any messages. It's quite mysterious. Chen Xiaoxiao couldn't help but sigh. She has come into contact with many customers, and she has also met people who hardly post on Moments. Such people are either lazy or have a bad life. Either they are workaholics or they value privacy, or they are strong enough in their hearts. What kind of person is this cool and handsome guy? After telling Guofeng that the video was okay, he received a customer service call from the BBD flagship store, saying that his U8 had arrived at the store and he could pick it up with his ID tomorrow. Su Yang was a little happy to hear the news. His first car in his life is finally coming. Chapter 50, Hot Pot is good if you don't shoot a javelin. Newbies on the road. The next morning, Su Yang woke up early. After getting dressed and going to the living room, he went to the balcony to look at the scenery in the distance and felt happy. Blowing the morning breeze, he opened his hands and stretched lazily. Then, he looked down at the backyard of the villa. There is a green area, dotted with many bright red, pink, and white flowers. Su Yang carefully identified that they should be roses and roses. He noticed it from the second day he moved in. It must be said that the life of this group of rich people is quite romantic. That rose, except for the owner, probably only Su Yang can see it. There are 3 households on the first floor of this Western-style building, and only Su Yang's house faces the villa area. The owner of the villa may have built a high wall to protect privacy, but no matter how high the wall is, Su Yang lives on the 6th floor. Even the tall landscape trees can't block his sight. Su Yang feels pretty good. He appreciates others planting flowers. Pure profit. After washing up, he went downstairs and waited for Marant's car. Boss, let's go for breakfast first. Let's go to that breakfast shop. Yeah, since Su Yang got the gift of sensitive taste, he has become more and more picky about food, especially food that is not fresh enough. He can tell it in one bite. As for takeout, he had long since stopped ordering it. He could taste the preservative taste that only spicy strips have in takeout. What a guy. They used cheap pre-prepared dishes, but they dared to sell them at high prices. The breakfast shop that Su Yang liked to eat was a husband and wife shop. The breakfast here tasted pretty good, with fresh ingredients and great sincerity. It was said that it had been open for 7 years, and people nearby liked to eat here. He took Maran to a seat and asked for a bowl of 8 treasure porridge, 3 meat buns, and a tea egg. Maran was about the same, but he asked for a bowl of lotus seed porridge. He used to have the habit of skipping breakfast, but since he followed Su Yang, he has been eating regularly every day. While waiting for breakfast to be served, Su Yang took out his phone and turned on Douyin. The first video he saw was Xiao Xiao wants to lose weight. The video was posted last night, and the like rate has reached 7,000. it also marked the address of Zhoushiang Beef Hot Pot Restaurant, as well as the distance between his current location and the hot pot restaurant, and the group purchase was already online. After opening the comments, Su Yang was amused by the comment with the highest number of likes. Xiao Jun, for me, hot pot without javelin is delicious. Someone immediately responded below, eat sheep, like me, eating fast food and hot pot can easily turn me into a jet fighter. Tinyu Kezhaushong, every time I have diarrhea after eating hot pot, I feel very disappointed. Woohoo Feifei, at Tinyu Kezhaushong, brother, you can eat it again, then you won't lose anything. Xiaojing is very quiet, I have a bad stomach, and I am prone to diarrhea after eating hot pot, but I have been to Zhoushiang 3 times and there is no problem. Area, at Xiaojing is very quiet, is it delicious? Section 66. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiaojing is very quiet, at RE, Zhoushiang is probably one of the best restaurants near Feida Plaza. Sunny day does not rain, at RE, and the portions are big and the service is great. RE, at Xiaojing is very quiet at sunny day does not rain, then I'll go check it out. Su Yang smiled and glanced at the second comment with over 1,000 likes. King Magikarp, Xiao ate so much and only spent 100 yuan, which is cheap in Feida Plaza. Su Yang opened more than 30 replies. Flying roasted suckling pig, 100 yuan for one person is not expensive. Here, 2 people only spend 60 yuan for hot pot. Ma Qian 2008, at Flying Roasted Suckling Pig, what the hell, I spent 450 yuan for 2 people in XX, and I was not full. In comparison, Rongqing is really conscience. Flying Roasted Suckling Pig, at Ma Qian 2008, you are a high-end hot pot restaurant. Han Xiaoqin, at Flying Roasted Suckling Pig, near Feida Square, this price is already very conscience. Su Yang read the third comment again, going on a date with righteousness. I didn't expect to see this video just after eating at Zhoushiang. Zhoushiang service is really good. When I came out after eating, the receptionist bowed to me and welcomed me to come again next time. I felt like I just came out of a high-end club. Su Yang started to reply, and as expected, this post is crooked. Some asked if the receptionist was beautiful, some asked the address of the high-end club. In short, it was still quite fun. After breakfast, Maran took Su Yang to the BBD store according to the location. There, BBD employees also held a car-picking ceremony for Su Yang. Pulling open the blue curtain, Su Yang couldn't help but nodded when he saw the domineering appearance of the U8 Black Warrior. The body of the car is shiny black, and the side shape is square and tough. The headlights and the center grille present a unique ding shape, giving people a strong visual impact. The car is as high as 1.9 meters high, more than 5 meters long, and more than 2 meters wide. It looks bigger than most SUVs, giving people a strong sense of oppression. It's like a beast waiting to hunt, ready to pounce at any time. It's so beautiful. Maran stroked the U8 Oracle Electric logo and murmured. It's really beautiful. Su Yang had to admit that he also liked the logo. He is a dog of beauty. If the car is not beautiful enough, he will definitely not place an order. As for the situation in the U8 car, Su Yang was also very satisfied, not to mention the luxurious interior. What he was most satisfied with was the spacious space in the car. Su Yang was a tall man, and he couldn't stretch out in the back seat of Maran's car. The air conditioning vents in the car were a little weird. Because he came early, with the help of the staff, Su Yang completed all the formalities on the same day and got a green license plate. To be honest, this green license plate doesn't look very good, but it is very useful and there is no limit on the number of plates in Rongqing. Boss, can you do it? On the bustling streets of Rongqing, the U8, a powerful beast with 880 kilowatts of power and a top speed of 3.6 seconds, was crawling at a speed of 31 kilometers per hour. Of course. Su Yang stared at the road and whispered, the sales lady taught me on the field, and she praised me for learning quickly. Su Yang sat in the driver's seat, his body stiffly leaning forward, his eyes vigilantly staring at the road conditions around him. I thought he was on the battlefield. All he needed was a rifle. Maran asked in a low voice, is it too slow? According to Article 45 of the Road Traffic Safety Law, the the speed limit on urban roads without a center line is 30 km per hour. I seem to be driving too fast. After reducing the speed to 29 km per hour, Su-young said proudly. In the past 2 days, I have done my homework and reviewed the traffic rules. Ma-ran glanced at the electronic rearview mirror, but we seem to be blocked by the car behind us. My speed is definitely fine, they are the ones with problems. Su-young said indifferently, besides, they will definitely see the big internship sticker on the rear of my car. This. Ma-ran couldn't find any fault at all. I heard that Su-young got his driver's license 3 years ago and hasn't driven much since then. Seeing Su-young's extremely awkward performance on the field, Ma-ran was worried about his boss and decided to escort him home in person. As for his car, it was still parked at the BBD store. After he sent Su-young home, he would take a taxi to drive again. Brother, add some prestige. A white car was parallel to Su-young's U8. Ma-ran leaned forward and turned his head to see 2 young girls, but Su-young didn't even look at them, still leaning forward stiffly, his eyes looking straight ahead, serious and focused. The 2 young girls probably thought Su-young didn't hear them, so they shouted again. Brother driving U8, add some prestige. Su-young waved his left hand a little irritably, and taught without turning his head. Look at the road carefully, look ahead. He almost said don't bother me. After saying this, he quickly retracted his left hand to stabilize the steering wheel. It was as if the steering wheel would spin if it left his left hand. Seeing the white car leave unwillingly, Ma-ran finally couldn't help laughing. What are you laughing at? Su-young said puzzledly. Boss, you are so confused. No, I'm driving seriously. I understand. I understand. Ma-ran could understand. After all, his boss was still a novice driver who had just started on the road, so it was normal to be overly nervous. He was the same way before, afraid of hitting a car or hitting someone. Seeing Su-young quickly wiping his palms on his pants, he quickly grabbed the steering wheel. He pulled Su-young's hand on the steering wheel. It's as hard as a vice, so it would be strange if your palms don't get sweaty. Boss, don't hold the steering wheel too hard, just relax a little. Good. Don't be too nervous. You can lean back on the chair and relax. Thank you for the reward of 100 starting coins for Lianghua. Thank you for helping me correct so many typos when going on a date with integrity, and thank you for your support. Chapter 51 Su-young drives very steadily. The dragon swung its tail and turned around. After Ma-ran's patient teaching, Su-young gradually adapted. At least the driving posture is much more relaxed. In the second half of the journey, after adapting to Su-young's driving style, Ma-ran was in the mood to touch around and admire the luxurious interior of the U8. He was completely relieved that his boss was driving, although my boss does drive a bit slowly, which makes him, an experienced driver, a bit uncomfortable, but as long as he keeps a calm mind and doesn't pay attention to speed, Su-young can still drive very safely. Section 67. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When crossing a zebra crossing, he must slow down even if there are no pedestrians. He must keep a certain safe distance from the car in front. He is very strict and mechanically conservative. He emphasizes the word stable. When experienced drivers see someone keeping this safe distance from the car in front, many of them will habitually cut in, especially those driving taxis. However, U8 has a very good reputation and recognition. Along the way, almost no driver dared to cut in front of U8. After all, if you are not careful, you may be fully responsible and you may make people cry. When they arrived at the gate of Shindu Garden Community, U8 stopped steadily. After getting off the car, Ma-ran said, "Boss, your driving skills are fine, you just need to practice more and drive more." Okay. Also, you can find a place where no one is to familiarize yourself with the functions of U8. This thing is much more complicated than a fuel car. Yeah. Su-young nodded. Remember to reimburse the taxi fare. Okay. Ma-ran nodded, and looked at U8 again with some reluctance. He still had some regrets today, that is, he didn't touch the steering wheel of U8, just like a child who couldn't bear to let go of a new toy. Su-young slowly drove around Shindu Garden for a few laps and tried almost all functions, including turning around on the spot. Seeing that it was getting dark, He drove the car into the community and registered his car with the security guard. The security guard smiled attentively. "Boss, is this the newly bought U8? "Yes." Su Yang smiled and nodded. The security guard looked at Su Yang's driveway with envy. "This should be the first U8 in our community. U8 has only been on the market for a short time, it is normal to have few." "Is it easy to drive?" "Easier to drive than Santana." "Boss, you are so humorous." In fact, Su Yang was serious. At this time, some residents in the community who had dinner earlier had already started taking a walk. Su Yang's U8 had a high rate of turning heads. Even those who didn't know U8 would be attracted by its domineering appearance. Driving all the way, looking for a suitable parking space all the way, Su Yang directly skipped several vacant parking spaces. He found a parking space that required the use of the side parking technique to park in. He directly pushed the front of the U8 to the rear of a G-Class in front of him at a 45-degree angle. Since using the car purchase card, waiting for the new car, Su Yang not only took the time to review the traffic rules carefully, but also learned about other luxury car brands. He could still recognize the G-Class. It was much more expensive than his U8, and the top version was at least more than 2 million. There are really a lot of rich people in this community. He got out of the car and looked at the distance between the front and rear cars. Feeling that there was no problem, Su Yang got back in the car and turned on the easy parking on the central control screen. The tires of the U8 began to rotate, and the rear of the car moved steadily into the parking space. The dragon swung its tail. Su Yang leaned out to take a look. The parking position was perfect, and the car body was all within the parking line. He was in a good mood. With this function, he, a novice driver, no longer has to worry about parallel parking. He looked up and saw 7 or 8 people standing on the roadside watching him park. A somewhat wealthy uncle approached curiously. "Brother, is this your U8? "Yeah. Just bought it. Just picked it up today. How does it drive?" "It feels okay." "Can you turn around on the spot?" the uncle said a little embarrassedly. "I just want to see it." "If you are in a hurry, forget it." Looking at the uncle's expectant eyes, Su Yang couldn't bear to refuse his request. What's wrong with him? He just likes cars. At this time, several middle-aged people who were watching the excitement came over. They also looked at Su Yang's U8 with some curiosity. Hearing that Su Yang was going to turn around on the spot, they were also looking forward to it. "Okay." Su Yang tried to move the U8 out from between the two cars. Seeing his clumsy moving skills, the uncle couldn't help but laugh and said, "Did you just learn to drive?" "I got my driver's license a long time ago, but I haven't driven much." The uncle shouted to a middle-aged man who was watching the excitement nearby. "Lao Lu, is that G-Class yours?" "Yes." "Move it quickly." "Okay." The middle-aged man called Lao Lu rushed into the G-Class in 3 or 2 steps and drove it aside to make room for Su Yang. Good guy. The G-Class driver also came to watch the excitement. "But it's already agreed that if you turn around on the spot, you turn around on the spot." When Su Yang performed a U-turn on the spot with the U8, the tire directly printed a very iconic circle on the road. Beautiful. This car has great technology. Good. This is great. It can really turn around on the spot. The uncle was the first to applaud, and there was a round of cheers from the surroundings. Su Yang felt a little embarrassed. These people were too enthusiastic. And the most enthusiastic ones were men, not women. After parking the car in a handsome way, Su Yang got out and said goodbye to everyone. Just as he was about to leave, he saw a familiar figure in the crowd. Sister Qin Shuang. It was a little dark, and he really didn't notice Qin Shuang just now. Qin Shuang asked with a smile, "Boss Su, are you showing off your new car?" "I can't help it, they seem to be more curious about my car." Section 68. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Su Yang took a look and saw that the uncle and 7 or 8 other men were still standing beside him, looking at his U8 and discussing something. Qin Shuang replied, "Domestic $1,000,000 luxury cars are rare. People who can afford and dare to buy them are even rarer." At this stage, most people are skeptical of domestic high-end brands, but Qin Shuang didn't say the rest. At this time, Su Yang noticed the boy standing next to Qin Shuang and holding Qin Shuang's hand. The boy was about 10 years old and looked a little weak and delicate. There was a shadow of Qin Shuang between his eyebrows, and he was a handsome boy. But he seemed a little shy. When Su Yang greeted Qin Shuang, he held Qin Shuang's hand. "Sister Qin, is this your son? Anan, say hello to your uncle." Uncle. Su Yang touched his nose awkwardly. "Have you reached the age to be called uncle?" "Hello, brother." "So good." Su Yang said happily. "This kid is quite sweet." However, Qin Shuang gave her son a reproachful look. "You should call him uncle," Anan insisted, "but he looks like a brother." "Calling him brother is right." Su Yang smiled and spoke for Anan. "Are you taking a walk, Sister Qin? Ready to go back?" Qin Shuang smiled. "Let's go together, it's just on the way." "Yeah." Qin Shuang took her son and sent Su Yang to the small villa. After Su Yang went upstairs, and let go of Qin Shuang's hand. On the way home, he suddenly asked, "Mom, do you like that brother?" "Why do you think so?" Qin Shuang quickly explained, "He is much younger than Mom." Fortunately, it was dark at this time, and Anan could not see Qin Shuang's expression. "The guy who gave you flowers last time wasn't really that old, was he?" "That guy was just wishful thinking." Qin Shuang touched her son's head and comforted him. "Mom promises you that as long as you don't agree, Mom won't get married again." "I don't like those uncles." "Yeah. Mom knows." "Mom, can you and Dad get back together?" "That's impossible." Chapter 52 The Decoration of Two Stores. People who were cheated by the investment promotion department. Back to the villa, Anan went to the room to do homework. Qin Shuang sat on a chair in the backyard and looked up to see Su Yang's living room on the 6th floor, the lights that were still on. What is he doing now? For no reason, Qin Shuang had such curiosity in her mind, thinking of Su Yang's handsome face and strong body. She felt her face slightly hot. Back in the room, she took out the nail clippers and gently cut her nails. The next day, Maran drove his car to Shindu Garden, then he touched the steering wheel of U8 as he wished. "Boss, can I turn around once?" "Sure, just once." Seeing Maran's expectant eyes, Su Yang couldn't bear to refuse. Maran said happily, "Thank you, boss." After trying to turn around once, Maran happily took Su Yang to Zhoxiang Beef Hot Pot Restaurant. As soon as the car stopped at the door of the hot pot restaurant, Jian Wei couldn't help but said in surprise, "What kind of car is this?" "It's so big." Guofang asked in confusion. "It seems to be U8. Jian Wei sighed. "The U8 that Zhou Zichuan said." Guofang nodded. Tan Jiesin asked in confusion, "Is U8 expensive?" Guofang, "More than 1 million, I can't afford it anyway." At this time, Maran leaned back, revealing Su Yang's handsome face. "Guofang, Jian Wei, get in the car." Tan Jiesin was surprised. "Is this the boss's car? What's so strange about this?" Guofang laughed. "Our boss is already very rich, and he has opened several large-scale gyms, which are very famous in Rongcheng." Tan Jiesin was a little confused. "Why don't I know?" Guofang, "You didn't ask." "Okay, you take care of the store first. Jian Wei and I are going to the branch." "Okay." Guofang got on the U8 and looked around curiously. Jian Wei seemed more restrained, as if he didn't know where to put his hands and feet. Not long after, the four of them rushed to the island restaurant in Chenhui Mall. When they arrived at Chenhui Mall, Dongfang was already waiting at the gate. "Su Yang, you are so mean." Dongfang couldn't help complaining, "You didn't even tell me you were opening a store." "This is my second store, and there's a third one." "What?" "I also bought a nice store, which also needs to be renovated." 3 hot pot restaurants. Dongfang was surprised. "It looks like your business is doing very well." "Not bad." Su Yang laughed. "Great." Dongfang gave a thumbs up, and looked at Su Yang again. "I really didn't realize that you are a good business person." "Okay, let's go in and take a look first." On the way, Su Yang introduced Guofang and Jian Wei to Dongfang again. Opening the shutter door of the island restaurant, it was completely emptied. Guofang took out the prepared design sketch and began to explain the decoration details of the store to Dongfang. Su Yang listened quietly on the side. without interrupting, just as a study. Su Yang then took them to the store on North Street. When Dong Fang saw Su Yang's U8, he suddenly realized it. He meant, how did Su Yang win over Chen-Li? Girls who work in finance handle more money and meet more bosses, so they usually have higher standards. Otherwise, Chen-Li wouldn't have waited until she was 29 years old and still not married. If it was just a hot pot restaurant, Chen-Li probably wouldn't be too interested. Section 69. You are listening at novelfull.audio. But if you drive a U8, it will be completely different. You know, rich people with a net worth of tens of millions generally don't dare to buy a U8. After all, most rich people's ideology has not changed, and they still have doubts about domestic luxury cars. So, is Su Yang's family very rich? Thinking of the fact that Su Yang didn't show any clues in the past year, Dong Fang couldn't help but complain, it's really hidden deep. Arriving at the door of the shop on North Street, Su Yang smiled and greeted Uncle Li, who was basking in the sun, and then took 3 people into the shop. This shop used to sell skewers, and it was relatively simple to renovate. Guo Fang could put forward the approximate decoration requirements on the spot, and Dong Fang also carefully recorded them all. After the matter was settled, it was almost noon. Su Yang took a few people to a restaurant for dinner. After eating half full, Su Yang said, "Brother Dong, hurry up on this matter, I'm in a hurry to open the business. I can guarantee this, I will be able to prepare the quotation tomorrow." Dong Fang patted his chest and guaranteed, "As long as the quotation is approved, the workers will enter the market, and your business will definitely not be delayed." Dong Fang can guarantee this. The current decoration market is not as good as in previous years, the company's business is not good, and many decoration workers have no work to do. And after discovering that Su Yang is a rich second generation, his mind also became active. He asked himself, living under the same roof with Su Yang for a year, he and Yang Yun are still not bad to Su Yang, and the relationship between the two sides is not bad. Su Yang asked him to help decorate the store this time, which is proof. Dong Fang does not ask Su Yang to make him rich. As long as Su Yang can think of him when there is business, it is already very good for him. That's troublesome. Don't worry, I promise to do this job beautifully. After the 4 of them had eaten and drunk their fill, in the underground parking lot, Dong Fang suddenly asked, "Su Yang, there are some things I don't know whether I should ask." "Just ask," Su Yang said frankly. "Did you have a conflict with Chen-Li?" Why would you ask this?" Su Yang thought that Dong Fang wanted to ask him why he was so rich but had to pretend to be poor and live in a rented house. He had already conceived an inspirational story of starting from scratch. As a result, Dong Fang asked Chen-Li. Dong Fang smiled awkwardly. Chen-Li seems to be in a bad mood in the past 2 days. "I know." Su Yang understood that Dong Fang had misunderstood the relationship between the two, but he couldn't explain too much. Women just need to coax them a little. "Yeah." Dong Fang didn't say anything more and drove away. After Dong Fang left, Guo Fang suddenly asked, "Boss, who are you going to let manage the store on North Street? Do you have a suitable candidate?" In fact, Su Yang already has several alternatives, but they are all in other people's hot pot restaurants. If Guo Fang has an alternative, he can save trouble. "I have a friend who runs a hot pot restaurant." Su Yang looked at Guo Fang in confusion, and Guo Fang continued to explain. "But his business failed 2 months ago and he lost more than 400,000. Can he do it?" His own hot pot restaurant failed. Is he really capable? "He is a veteran in the industry, and his management ability is absolutely no problem." Guo Fang said helplessly, "It's just that his vision for choosing a store is far worse than the boss, and he was fooled by the people in the mall's investment promotion department." "Then I can meet him." Su Yang probably guessed how Guo Fang's friend was fooled. The mall's investment promotion department is responsible for the investment promotion and introduction of merchants in the mall. For example, introducing domestic and international well-known chain brand stores to attract and gather people. At the same time, they will also fool those ordinary bosses, those who are interested in opening a store and starting a business to rent a store in the mall to do business. They will claim to those ordinary bosses and entrepreneurs how powerful the company behind the mall is, what kind of grand publicity activities will be held, how many brand stores have already settled in there? Own mall, how many people will gather in the future, how prosperous it will be to do business in the mall. In short, they tell those ordinary bosses and entrepreneurs to hurry up and rent a store in their mall to do business, and they will definitely make a fortune. As a result, many ordinary bosses and entrepreneurs rented stores, decorated them well, and bought good goods. After opening the store with great expectations, they found that there were not even a few ghosts in the entire mall, thanks to Hey 8 and Fantasy Star, Can't Hit Stars, for the 500 starting coins reward, and thank you for the 100 starting coins reward at 1347. Thank you all for your support. In addition, I deleted the Rule 8 that the system restricts the protagonist's deposits. I just wanted to play the cliché of rich people depositing but not spending, but it seems to have poisoned some readers. Anyway, it doesn't affect the plot, so I just deleted and modified it. Chapter 53 New Store Manager Xiang Nantian. Do you want to eat spicy hot pot? Ordinary bosses and entrepreneurs may go to the investment department to argue. People in the investment department will generally procrastinate, saying that they will have more people after a while. If the mall is in a good location and the publicity is appropriate, the flow of people will really increase gradually. If the mall is not in a good location and the publicity is not strong, the flow of people cannot be attracted. Those ordinary bosses and entrepreneurs can only wait to lose money. The property will not be soft-hearted, and the rent that should be collected must still be collected. Based on Su Yang's field investigations over the past month and the data he found online, many so-called business districts across the country are relatively oversupplied, and many of them have little traffic. He has also entered shopping malls with no traffic in Rongcheng, except for shops along the street, a few brand stores, and shops that mainly sell takeout. They are empty as soon as you go a little inside. Street shops have some traffic. Shops that mainly sell takeout don't need traffic at all. They mainly rely on online. A few brand stores can survive because they have strong bargaining power. Not only are their rents lower than those of ordinary tenants, but they also rent the best locations. They can attract some traffic, and with good locations and low rents, their cost lines are naturally lower. So they will be able to hold on longer than ordinary stores. If nearby well-known brand stores, such as milk tea shops like Snow King, have run away, then be careful. Ordinary hot pot restaurants opened in shopping malls with no traffic, then there is a high probability that they can only wait to die. They can't even find someone to take over. As for the exaggerated words and guaranteed flow of people from the investment promotion department, what you say does not count, but if you take it seriously, you will lose. Su Yang asked again, by the way, how are you preparing the equipment for the hot pot restaurant? Boss, do you want second-hand ones? Guofeng asked with a smile. I contacted a merchant through a friend. He has a batch of 80% to 90% new hot pot restaurant equipment, including tables and chairs. I checked it and the quality is fine. It is at least half cheaper than the market price. So good. Su Yang was surprised. Recently, many hot pot restaurants have closed down, and some have closed down as soon as they opened. Will it be used for both stores? Enough for 5 stores. Second-hand ones are also fine, but you have to pay attention to the uniformity of style. Section 70. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Su Yang likes to get bargains. Guofeng helped him find second-hand equipment, which was also to help him reduce the cost of opening a store. Loyalty is commendable. That's no problem, Guofeng promised. In the afternoon, Su Yang finally met Guofeng's friend Xiang Nantian. Xiang Nantian was nearly 40 years old, with a buzz cut and a bit bloated, but he already had white hair on his head, dark circles under his eyes, and looked a bit old. Name, Xiang Nantian. Status, subhealth, insomnia, heavy debt pressure, regret, nervousness. Skills, 1. Hot pot restaurant management. Skilled, 2. Hot pot base stir frying. Skilled, 3. Car driving skills, ordinary. Skilled hot pot restaurant management, 1 level lower than Guofeng, is completely enough. Su Yang chatted with Xiang Nantian for a few words, and asked some questions about the operation of the hot pot restaurant to pretend, and Xiang Nantian could answer them fluently, but facing Su Yang, he was still a little restrained and nervous. Obviously, he needed this job very much. Then the hot pot restaurant on North Street will be handed over to you. Thank you, boss. The man in his 40s bowed deeply to Su Yang. Losing more than 400,000 in one breath was a huge blow to him. Don't be so polite, just work hard. After Su Yang left, Xiang Nantian thanked Guofeng. Old Gua, thank you. He knew very well that if it weren't for Guofeng's recommendation, this position would not have been his turn. The treatment given by Su Yang was enough to make most of the hot pot restaurant managers in Rongqing excited. We are old friends, don't say so much. Guofeng patted his shoulder and smiled. Don't think about starting a business now, the risk is too great. Work hard for the boss. The boss is a generous person, and his ability is better than you and me. I know. After suffering a painful loss, Xiang Nantian didn't want to start a business in his life. Next, you and Jian Wei will prepare for the decoration of the 2 new stores. Okay. Back home, Xiang Nantian pushed the door and saw his wife and sister-in-law Wu Mei. Wu Mei seldom visited their home before, but after his hot pot restaurant closed down, Wu Mei came more frequently. The reason was that he borrowed 100,000 from his brother. How was the interview? Xiang Nantian's wife stood up and asked when she saw her husband coming home. Success. Xiang Nantian said with a smile, the boss was very generous and gave a basic salary of 15,000, and there is a commission if the performance is good. So much. Xiang Nantian's wife was surprised. Xiang Nantian used to be the manager of a hot pot restaurant, and his basic salary was only about 8,000. Lao Gua's basic salary is higher. Xiang Nantian looked at his sister-in-law Wu Mei and said, Wu Mei, I borrowed money from your family, and I will try to pay it back within half a year. Look at what you said, we are all relatives, who hasn't encountered difficulties? Wu Mei stood up and smiled, the money can be paid back slowly, we are not in a hurry. Not in a hurry. If you are not in a hurry, do you need to run here every few days? But Xiang Nantian was still very polite to Wu Mei. After all, he did borrow money from others. Su Yang sat in the car and noticed that Xiang Nantian's loyalty had increased to 85, the increase was very rapid, probably because Su Yang helped him at the critical moment. Then he couldn't help but think of Chen-Li. After hesitating for a while, he took out his mobile phone and called Chen-Li. After all, there was still some affection between the two parties, even if it was not much. After dialing, Chen-Li's slightly sarcastic voice came from the phone. Hey, isn't this Boss Su? How come you have time to call me? Su Yang smiled, I heard from Dong Feng that you are not in a good mood recently. I didn't expect you to care about my mood. Have you got off work? Why? Invite you to dinner. If you treat me, I will go. The Skewers restaurant on XX Street tastes good. I'll wait for you there at 8 o'clock. Go to the Skewers restaurant. Then where do you want to go? Do you want to eat spicy hot pot? Then it's better to go to the Skewers restaurant. Su Yang replied, that's fine. After hanging up the phone, Chen-Li tossed and turned in bed, with Su Yang's shadow in her mind. This stinky man, she couldn't help but curse in a low voice. Unknowingly, it was 6:30. She struggled for a long time, but couldn't help getting up from the bed and dressing up. She changed 7 pieces of clothes repeatedly, more than 10 sets of outfits. Looking at herself in the mirror, she regretted not buying more clothes, but now it was definitely too late. Based on her understanding of Su Yang, if it was not 8 o'clock, Su Yang would probably not wait for her. At 7:30, she was finally a little satisfied with herself, and then she left the rental house with her favorite bag. The Skewers restaurant Su Yang mentioned was not far from the hot pot restaurant she had eaten last time, just a few steps away. Although it was not a high-end restaurant, the location he chose was quite sincere. After going downstairs, she passed by a convenience store she often visited. Chen-Li hesitated a little, but still did not stop. However, when she gradually moved away from the rental building and passed by a chain supermarket she had never been to, she finally stopped, looking around and seeing no acquaintances. She gritted her teeth and rushed in. As soon as she entered the supermarket, there was a cold air in her face, which made her feel a little better. She did not walk straight into the supermarket, but stood in front of the cashier. Hello, what do you need? that the supermarket employee asked politely. Chenli opened her mouth, but before she could speak, her face started to get hot. Chapter 54 Boss, give me another drink. I seem to be here early. Standing at the door of the Chuanchuan store, Chenli glanced at her phone. There are still 13 minutes until 8 o'clock, she looked back at the Chuanchuan store. There were quite a few customers. There were only 3 empty tables, and I didn't know which one Su Yang had reserved.